My name is Ramiz, and I'll be presenting our work on the modeling of infrastructure interdependencies. To begin with, increasing frequency of natural hazards have multiplied the risks associated with our cities and towns. A quick look on the figure on your right will show that the number of losses have considerably increased in the last 3 decades. This is simply because we have more to lose today. This research focuses on the post-disaster recovery planning. Generally speaking, policies that are based on a linear thinking approach tend to oversimplify the reality. It ignores the complex system and instead focuses on one part of it and sees it as a static event. Systems thinking, on the other hand, allows us to see the bigger picture, to understand how elements in a system interact with each other to generate dynamic behaviors with each other as the system evolves over time. We used a systems thinking approach to model the community recovery system. Recovery is defined as a restoration of patterns of activity to pre-disaster levels. The figure on your right shows the behavior mode of recovery system. When a disaster hits a community, there's a drop in the total performance of the system. Lines A, B, and C show the recovery behavior, while the shaded area shows loss in performance. A successful recovery is one that recovers quickly to its pre-disaster levels with minimum loss in functionality. However, limited resources and multiple competing factors make it difficult to allocate resources. From the practitioner's perspective, there are multiple interacting sectors that drive each other in the recovery phase. For example, comparing loop R1 and loop R2 on your screen, even when there is adequate housing, lack of public health infrastructure may constrain population recovery. Practitioners face a difficult challenge in deciding how to sequence resourcing efforts for recovery. Should they first invest in infrastructure or public health, or manufacturing sectors or agriculture? The answer is difficult due to the complexity of community systems. We used a design structure matrix to model the recovery system. The DSM is a matrix representation of the elements in a system and is generally used in engineering management and product architecture. DSM elements in the row and columns identify the community sectors that are important for recovery. Interactions in the DSM qualitatively describe the infrastructure services required by the dependent sector for its recovery. The main uses of this tool are that it provides a clear mental map of what impacts what. It's practical, which means it can be tailored for the community and the event. It's scalable, which means it can be tailored for policymakers and practitioners, and it's been proven with an initial case study. So what does one of the DDSM solutions look like? Well, we designed a DSM model that describes 16 community level sectors and their interactions that are important for recovery. This includes built infrastructure and their related social infrastructures. We developed parallel matrices to qualitatively describe the interactions to non-technical and technical leaders. As an example, Level 1 DSM provides an answer to how would you describe interactions to non-technical people, for example, the mayor. Similarly, Level 2 DSM provides an answer to how do you describe the interactions to the city department heads, for example, the heads of the Department of Transportation, etc. So how did we test the effectiveness of this tool? Well, we performed a case study of the 2014 Jammu and Kashmir flood response, which is a region in the Southeast Asia. The World Bank commissioned a flood recovery project in 2015. As of beginning of 2019, less than 10% of the total expected expenditure had been achieved, with many of the projects still under bidding stage. We conducted semi-structured interviews with the officials of the recovery project to understand the constraints in the timely execution of the project. The figure on your left shows the project design approach used by the recovery managers, whereas the figure on your right shows the actual recovery model developed as a part of this research. While the managers were on the right track in identifying the important sectors for recovery, they were not accounting for interdependency of infrastructures. Our model analysis revealed that the sectors that you're currently seeing on your screen are critical sectors and form a core loop of recovery. In other words, irrespective of the reported damage and the final performance metrics, it is important that these core sectors are restored as they provide basic services required for all other infrastructure sectors. Further, model analysis revealed that connecting resource deployment to the highest value infrastructure can be a significant benefit to even the most experienced practitioners. Community recovery planners should target recovery efforts that restore and support dependent infrastructure. To conclude, DESM provides a clear, practical, and a scalable solution that has proven results. Thank you.